morning, Ethan. Here we are, another week in lockdown. I hope we're all alright. Just wanted to remind you that this week's focus is 1.5, the external influences on business, of which there are a lot at the moment. If you are wanting to look things up in your revision guide, it's page 50 to 59. And there's also all the resources on Firefly. You've got Seneca, you've got Bite Size, and you've got Business Ed. So if you've got a computer and you've got the internet, you are lucky people. So, just a quick reminder of the topics that we have studied. Stakeholders, okay? Anyone who's got an interest in the business, not to be confused with shareholders. They are people who own a share of the business, owners, yeah? They're groups like workers, suppliers, the community, customers, government, pressure groups. They all have different interests in the business, and they all want different things. So there's there's of course going to be conflict. Okay, workers want higher wages, suppliers want to charge a higher price, yeah? Customers want low prices, the owners want to make a profit. So all of these things don't really necessarily agree with each other. And so therefore, there's always going to be a trade-off between your stakeholders and who gets what. Make sure you've got some notes on it. We looked at technology in this unit in terms of how it impacts on business. So we looked at things like e-commerce, the business online, which is actually doing very well at the moment. Different payment systems like PayPal, the whole touch on your phone thing, that's come into its own with the whole coronavirus thing, because people don't want to hand over cash. Massive impact on business. Digital communication, emails, websites, biometrics, all these sort of factors will impact on business, and keeping up with technology is vital. And we also looked at the marketing mix again: price, product, place, and promotion. And we looked at the impact of technology on each of those. So in terms of price, businesses having to be more competitive because they can look at comparison sites. I can be in a shop and check a pair of trainers, can check the price on different websites and then decide not to buy them because I can find them cheaper. So businesses have to be more competitive. The impact of technology on products is, innovating new products. In terms of distribution, selling online. And in terms of promotion, using social media, so much more. We looked at legislation. I've made really minimal notes on this, but actually it's, there's two major groups of laws that you need to look at. One is employment law, so that's all to do with the people, the Equal Pay Act, making sure you don't discriminate, making sure you've got health and safety. All these things will cost your business money, yeah? However, you will have benefits like not killing your workers and all of that, okay? Sounds like quite extreme, but actually in this country, everyone's very well protected. But you go to some other countries where you see people, climbing 10-story buildings to clean windows without any kind of protective equipment, and you realise the benefits, to people in this country. Consumer law, okay? Making sure that things are really safe and really... they do what you say that they're going to do, okay? And, if not, that people can return them, okay? So different bits of legislation and the costs and benefits of those. You want to get some notes on there. And finally, the economy. Now, there's going to be quite a lot in the news about this right now, because a lot of these things are going to be impacted by the whole hoo-ha, as my son likes to call it. We like to call it the hoo-ha because we're fed up of calling it coronavirus or COVID-19, so just don't want to hear those words anymore, but we call it the hoo-ha. The economy is things like our GDP, how much we're producing as a country, okay? Not so much at the moment because obviously everyone's at home. Consumer incomes, that just means how much are people earning. So, for example, at the moment, People are, some people aren't working, and therefore their incomes go down, and therefore they're not spending. Yeah. So if consumer incomes generally go down, it's not good for business. Same with unemployment. If there's high unemployment, consumer incomes are lower. Therefore, spending goes down. Yeah. In this situation, things like luxury goods out of the window. Yeah. No one's off buying a yacht or a new car or all these kind of, even like fancy things like going for a massage or buying expensive clothing. You tend to cut back on that kind of thing. Tax, it's unavoidable unless you're kind of Amazon or whatever, but companies have to pay tax, and so if the government decide to increase tax rates or decrease tax rates, businesses will be impacted by that. Inflation means the rate at which prices go up, right? So if prices go up, your costs are going to go up. So if you're a cafe and the price of milk goes up, you're going to have to consider how much you're going to increase your price of coffee. Flour, the price of flour goes up and you're a bakery, you're going to have to increase your prices too. And so inflation is something that impacts on all businesses. Interest rates. Interest rates work in two different ways. It's the money you get for saving. So I've just had a letter from my bank say interest rates have gone down. So the pitiful amount of savings I have, I'm not going to get so much back on that every month, okay? So I'm now less likely to save that money. I'm more likely to maybe spend it, yeah? On a kitchen perhaps, which is what I'm meant to be doing, okay? Just that explains all this wood thing, wood effect. It's not really my style. However, I bought the house like this and I've just been saving up trying to get it done. But interest rates have also gone down because of the hoo-ha. Long story. If you're interested, I can give you some further information. Just, hit me up in the comments. But interest rates, banks charge us to borrow money, okay? So if interest rates go down, it suddenly becomes cheaper to take out a loan, yeah? And that means that spending will go up. So as a business, if interest rates go down, it's good times actually, because people are less likely to save, they're more likely to take out a loan, and therefore the more spending goes on, okay? Which is why governments actually decrease interest rates, okay, to stimulate spending in the economy, okay? Exchange rates. Exchange rates change, yeah? It's the price of one currency and another. So if I'm a shop in Brighton selling luxury cheese, which I get from France, okay, if the pound is nice and strong, okay, if I can buy more euros with my pound, that means I can buy more cheese with my pound, which means I'm going to make more of a profit. Okay, especially if my cheese is a flat rate to my customers, but I'm getting more of that. So my imports become cheaper, yeah. However, if the pound is strong and I can buy lots and lots of euros, the reverse is true, yeah. So French people will find my products in England more expensive, so my exports abroad become more expensive, and we learnt the acronym SPICED to help us remember that, okay? So you might want to revise that too, okay? So that was our most recent topic. Ta-da! That was it. And I just thought I'd run through those things for you in case you'd forgotten any of it. Hopefully not. You've got a little worksheet to get done this week. If you want to also make some mind maps, do some notes, make sure that you've got this time to really create some beautiful revision notes on all of these topics, because then we will use them again. I have mentioned this to some of you in some of my feedback. Please keep all these worksheets safe. I have been looking at them all, but we're actually going to go through the answers when we get back to school, and we probably won't do that the minute we get back to school. We're going to use them as a revision tool later on, okay? So what we'll do is we'll get our worksheets and we'll go through the answers together as a class, and then what that will allow us to do is to address any issues that we've got with some of the questions. Like if everybody gets one wrong, we'll know about it and we can chat about it, and it's just another chance to revisit these topics. Okay. We're going to do some slightly different stuff next week. We've got some videos to watch. We've got some online quizzes to do. We might even do a little bit more Seneca. So if you found any of your topics particularly difficult, can you please let me know? And then we can focus some of our home learning on those things. Okay, and I could do some more in-depth explaining videos on certain topics if you would like. Okay, I hope you're all good. The weather could be a bit iffy today, but it's meant to be nice for the rest of the week. So it could be that you decide to do, if you've got any outside space, you get into it. If you haven't got outside space, make sure you're taking your daily activity time and you're going for a nice long walk. It is so good for you. And please don't, you know, the government wanted everyone to stay inside, but they made it really clear that they want people to go out, and that's for a very good reason. So please make sure you do that. Please let me know if you're having any difficulties with the work whatsoever. Swinging around on my chair now. I got my school chair, by the way. It's quite fun. Well, it does make it a bit too easy to just slide across to the fridge. It's Planet Earth Week this week here. Look at this. We've been doing watercolours. The kid made his name out of twigs. It's all been going on. So, you know, feel free to do the same. Go out, collect some, don't cut plants up. We had to talk about that. But, you know, cut some twigs and leaves. No, don't cut them. Pick them up off the floor. Use gloves maybe, wash your hands afterwards and before, and then make your name out of twigs. It's quite therapeutic. Anyway, I'm missing you all. Yeah, one student, it's just not as fun as you guys. Don't tell him that. That's why I'm recording this before he's got out of bed. Yeah, miss you. I'm just stop rambling now. This video's gone on for like 12 minutes. Yeah, feel free to you know, send me some messages, your artwork, but definitely send me the worksheet by the end of the week. Oh, it's a long weekend, have fun. Hope you stay in and have fun. Yeah, all right, okay.